Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. It is Sybil Wilkes and the guys. My guys are here. Hey! Man, I wish.
Hey,
Thank you, Damon. Ned is he's doing his Marcel thing.
Had
And
this
just
little
him.
light on me. I just felt like, okay, I'm here.
Okay. Lights
Ah,
action. All right.
yes.
Damon, how you doing?
pretty
Damon.
well, pretty
Oh, okay.
well. The, the toils of. Is it a delay? Am I? Can you hear me
There
now?
he is. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Home ownership is always a challenge. So I remodeled a whole bathroom, and now I'm hearing a leak in the wall. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure. So now I got to get some plumber over here, and they probably gonna have to damage the newly installed fixture type stuff. So I'm
oh.
good. How are you?
Damon, I had to get a new garage door opener, the whole contraption yesterday,
Yeah.
because it came with the house, and now this one is like 20 years old. The guy's like, he's really on overtime about now, and it's just always something. It's trees that need to be cut down, it's bushes that need to be pulled because my the greenery in my front yard is dying, and my neighbors let me know this as if I didn't already know it. And according to rule number 63279 dash, it's you got to pull those, and you
Yep.
and you got to fill them in. I'm like, oh, just damn, where's the money to fill them in? You've got to pull them.
Hey, look. That I'm dealing with that right now. I'm renting, and so the tree in my backyard fell down, and I told the people to come get it. And so thank y'all both for really encouraging me to go buy a house.
Man,
Got
I
that
can.
tree gone, and I didn't pay a darn thing to get that tree removed.
I'm telling you, I cannot wait to get back to apartment life. I swear, it's just like, oh dear God,
Yeah,
it's
this
crazy.
there's a high rise calling my name too.
Yeah, exactly. And if
Yeah.
they allow dogs and I can have a little, oh yeah, I'm so about it right now. I'm so done. I'm just so done. And I want everybody to have this experience, and hopefully it won't be as extreme. But there's always something. There's always something you've got to, and follow along behind people who say they're going to do it when they're going to do it, and make sure that
The
okay,
Mm.
last
you
house
want.
the last house I rented, I was thinking about Damon, what he said. There, I guess we saw, some water damage in our
Mhm.
ceiling, and we called people in. They kind of traced it back to the bathroom that was upstairs, the guest bathroom. And the guy put a little hole behind the toilet. He's like, found the problem. I'm like, what's the problem? It looks like whoever installed when they built the house 10 some years ago, when they put they nailed something into the wall, it dinged the
The
pipe.
pipe.
So for the last 10 years, that thing has been leaking slowly.
Mm.
Oh my
They then
gosh.
found mold, and they had to
Oh,
tear the ceiling up.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, I'm glad I'm renting. Yeah,
okay.
go ahead and handle all that, guys. Y'all, all that. Yeah,
Okay.
tear it all up. Tear it up.
Okay.
All you handle it. You got it. Because
Yeah.
I was just like, and I was sitting there. I'm like, this is what home ownership's like. Like if
Yeah.
this was us, we owned this thing, what would we do with that?
Right.
like,
Yeah.
like, how?
Yeah. And you can't call the old owner and say, what up? Because you
Hey,
left all this
this
here.
is a
And
mess.
yeah. Yeah.
That's
Oh.
oof.
And I think everybody, I think for the economy's sake that we should. I can't see M. Williams on Facebook. So I can't wait to sell this damn house. This is another episode of I can't wait to sell
My
this damn
damn house.
house,
Woo!
On
starring David
today's
Williams.
episode.
Okay.
Woo!
Oh my gosh. And Ned going, I told y'all.
Yeah, we're looking to buy next year, and I'm sitting here just like, are we sure we want to do that?
Right.
Sure, because
Yeah.
renting because the mortgages and the rentals are right about even now. Because it used to be
Yeah.
when you got a mortgage, it was like $700. When you rented, it was like $1,200. Now mortgages and rent about the same. I'm like, are you sure we want it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
Wait for the
and
interest
that
rates
used
to
to be
come
a
down
long
too.
time ago. I don't know where you got them numbers from.
Right. No, those are old numbers. Definitely old numbers.
Yeah. Got to catch up with the newness of it all too, and the economy, right? All right, guys. I'm glad that we're here, despite all of the challenges that we have in our individual households. I do want to talk about what's going on in the news, and this is from our What You Need to Know newsletter. This is our daily newsletter that we curate stories and put them all together for you. And this is primarily looking for African American eyes, folks, as it affects the African American community. And it is our opportunity to talk about a number of topics that affect us, such as politics and health and well-being, mental health and well-being, the little known Black history fact. We have social justice and LGBTQ plus contributors there, as well as the little known Black history fact that I say, an HBCU corner. And of course, we have Yogi's Jewel, which is our daily inspiration. We might have to do that earlier than, than not today as a result of all things that are going on. And starting with the story that consumed my interest yesterday, and that was the shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. A very sad day. You always hate to do these stories. Last week we were same place talking about shootings at schools. Last week it was on
Colorado,
three different days, on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. There were shootings at 2 Dallas-Fort Worth area schools on Monday and Tuesday, and then Colorado was the most tragic of all. Monday, a student was killed. That was tragedy in itself. Tuesday, there was a shooting, but no one was killed. And Wednesday, in this strange case in which a young Black man was going to the school, but there was some sort of arrangement in the school that he would have to be patted down every day because of something that happened to him in the past. And so he had to be patted down. They found a weapon on him. He in the scramble shot 2 of the teachers, 2 of the administrators. He ran off, and they had a search all that day to find him, and they did find him, and he committed suicide. Okay, so that's bad enough. And then this week we have a crazy situation at a Presbyterian Christian school for pre-K to 6th graders. And a former student has been identified as the person who went in the school with 2 assault weapons and a handgun that she had purchased. And because of some feelings, they believe, because she had a manifesto, we don't know what's in that yet, but she had written a manifesto talking about all of her anger issues, apparently. This is from the police and other reports coming from Nashville, Tennessee. She went into the school. She blew her way into the school.
Yeah, she did.
Went in and was looking for, and the kids, apparently they had already been doing the drills. They knew the routine, right? Which brings me to a question, Matt. I want to ask you about, what's going on with your son's school, because I asked this of Griff, the comedian, this morning, and it's kind of mind-boggling. But anyway, I will talk about that. So she blew her way into the school, and apparently the principal, the headmistress, was the first person to come upon her, and she killed her. She killed a substitute teacher, and she killed the custodian, the only Black person that was killed. His name was Mike Hill. He was 61 years old. He had been working at the school for over 10 years. She killed 3 children. 2 of them were 9, and 1 was about to turn 9. So we're looking at like 3rd, 4th grade kids, right?
Yeah.
And the police came, and learning from Uvalde, they said this: we knew that there was no hesitating. We had to go in and make sure that the same thing did not happen.
Yeah, watching the tape, watching the body cam of that, it felt like it looked like a video game. It looked like a video game.
It really did.
It was intense. Like I remember, I'm watching it. I'm like, this feels very intense, because you're like, where is she? You know, like, because they're looking for her, and the way and what I liked about what the officers were doing, it was you could hear in their voice, move, right, find the shooter. And then when they start hearing her shooting up, she's upstairs. Go, they were moving, trying to find her. And it was just a very intense situation. I know you were asking me, about my son, and how earlier this year we had a situation at his school,
Mm-mm.
and there was an alert that the school was on lockdown, and there was something that was happening outside the school, and they locked down the school just to keep everybody out. And the first thing we get as parents is, don't come to the school's on lockdown,
Right.
You won't be let in. And it's just like, no,
I need to see my child.
You it's almost like, don't tell me unless I can come get my kid. Like, don't, because now we're just sitting here like, so what are we supposed to do? What do you do? Like, man, you need to go up there and do what?
Yeah.
Stand outside. It's like, it's a lot that you got to think about. But it's like, this whole thing with this situation with the guns and assault rifles, the ban on assault rifles, I think they restricted the ban like in 2005, and since then there's been an explosion of mass shootings.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, because I've always been in the mindset of what can we do to fix this without just taking away everyone's guns. I have a hard time trying to figure out a way to do that, because like they said, this person bought these guns legally. They legally owned these guns. They weren't stolen guns. They bought these guns and did this. I believe there needs to be a ban on assault rifles. Any high capacity magazine that you can own needs to be done away with. No civilian needs that. I understand the hunters and their rifles. I understand.
I don't understand hunting with this.
No, not with this. I said I understand hunters with their guns. They're like their hunting rifles. I understand like the shotguns. I get that. And the handguns. I get it. I get that. But these assault rifles with these there's only one thing they're used for, and that's killing human beings. Okay?
In war. That
is the only thing that they're used for. They're not used for. No one's using these guns to hunt animals. You know what I'm saying? They're only done to hunt human beings. And so I do believe in the banning of assault rifle or high magazine rifles. But when it comes to like the laws or like other laws, that's the only thing I can think of, because everything else, if you look at all these shootings, all of them, the shooter had those guns legally, or the person that owned the gun, like was it like their family members or whatever, owned the gun legally. So it's very hard.
It's too late when it comes to arms in this country. There are too many guns, and anybody that wants to get a gun can get a gun. So banning them, of course, to stop adding to that would be one thing. But we have way too many guns in America available. So what we have to deal with is the mental health issue. They cut so many budgets. And so many people, a lot of these people are troubled, and they show signs, but there's nowhere for them to turn. We need to normalize therapy. We need to normalize anyone that's getting bullied having an opportunity to be seen by a professional therapist. The more money we put into policing is not working. So I think you have to deal with it on the human element. And anybody that wants to do something like this would not be stopped by a law. They wouldn't even think about it. Right. The fact that I might get a ticket or I might get arrested for having this gun. If you plan to kill innocent children, you already passed that. Yeah. So it's, yeah.
And here's the thing: the red flag laws. Apparently, they had some issues in the family, and her parents knew that she had a gun, and they convinced her to sell the gun. She told them that she sold it. She had seven guns in that house when they went in to look for her after the shooting.
Wow.
She had 7 rifles, handguns in that house. So I think you're right, Damon. It is that the horse is out of the barn. I don't know how we stop that anymore, but the red flag laws are apparently not doing any good. A lot of gun people say, we got to have these laws. And in Tennessee, they're talking about lowering the age from 21 to 18 if they haven't done it already.
Yeah. And there's a desensitization. People are being desensitized with what you say to video games, because for that to be something that this first thing that you think of, this looks like a video game, and that realistic situation being simulated day in and day out, it's just like anybody that watches too many violent movies, or somebody listens to hip hop all the time, or somebody watches porn all the time. You're gonna want to do some of that stuff eventually,
right.
Porn included. But my point is, like, baby, need you see something right quick?
Can you do that?
What you think about this?
No, not the rifle. Not the rifle. No,
Not the
this.
No.
Right. Can you still do a back bend?
Whee!
'Cause she used to do gymnastics in high school. Let's see if you can still pull off that back bend.
It's so wrong. It's so wrong. So here's the other thing that they're doing. Now that it has come out, I can't wait to talk to Quinn about this this week when she comes on the show, our LGBTQ contributor. But now the onus of the anger of the gun owners and the gun supporters is transgender
There we go.
and transgender care.
There we go.
And not and to a lesser extent, as Damon said, about mental health care. But now they want to do away with everything. And drag shows, of course, transgender, having any kind of surgery and any kind of care, any kind of mental or physical care for anyone who's going through that transition.
So in this particular instance, what was the our conceived origin of this person's gender? Is it a man that turned to a woman or a woman that went man?
I think it was a man that turned woman, right?
Because they keep saying she.
Yeah, they keep saying she, and
I
she
thought she was born a woman and was changing into a man.
That's where that's where the problem is. I'm trying to figure it out because there's been different stories. They've been calling her she, a transgendered female, in the police reports, and so I'm thinking at first I thought the same thing. I thought it was a man, a woman transitioning to man, but I think it's a man transition. Either way, of the situation of which way they went.
Mm-hmm.
When I first heard that it was transgender and I heard it was a Presbyterian school and that person went to that school, I'm like, well, I can tell you where the beginning of the problem happened. Right there, because she might have been very confused in high school, not knowing how to deal with whatever that she was dealing with. And that's probably, and the people that deal with the trans community in the LGBTQIA community that have to deal with that. Right, they're trying to figure things out. The last place you try to figure that thing out is a church, or a religious institute. That is the last place you need to be at when you're conflicted, because it's not so much of trying to figure things out; it's trying to fix you. And when you deal with that, it could cause some issues. So when I heard that, I'm like, well, I think I have an idea of why she was going there with that rage.
Yeah, but at 28, and to go. There's no rationalization of whatever the problem is. We don't know.
Not for us.
No,
right.
I'm just saying I can have an understanding of where the rage came from and to go to that school, the school that she used to go to. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a random school she picked. It was a school that she went to when she, was.
But she did have other schools on her list, man, and so I don't know if those were schools that she went to after the Christian Academy, but she did have other schools. But the security was too much in her mapping out and trying to figure out where she was going to go. That was one thing that came out. And the reason why I say I thought she started out as a woman and was transitioning to a man is because she went by the name Audrey. And most recently was going by the name Aiden in their artwork.
Okay.
And how they were being referred to. So this story has so many tentacles, and this is one thing that struck me is the attack on the transgender community, and the other is about still arming the teachers in the classrooms. And apparently the teachers did a very good job of secluding their students and getting them out of what appeared to be the line of fire, because she wasn't finding anybody to go after once she got upstairs. This one woman on Instagram went on Instagram and posted, "Please stop acting like arming teachers is the answer. You don't even trust us to pick out books for your children," which brings up a whole nother issue, right?
But and then if I'm a teacher, I'm armed at this point anyway, whether it's allowed or not, because I'd rather be caught with it than without it. And I'm not advocating for that, but you got small innocent lives at your in your responsibility. And if you could have by some means fired upon an assailant to stop them, or even have the threat of firing upon an assailant, if I'm a teacher, I'm bringing mine, and I'll deal with the consequences later.
And that's a good point by Damon, because these mass shooters, for the most part, in my mind, they're cowards. And the thing is, they're going into a space where they're not expecting
a soft target.
to be shot at. So you shoot, even if you're not trying to kill, if you're just shooting in their direction, they're out of there. They're not trying to have a gunfight.
And I wondered about that too with the gentleman who was the custodian, Mr. Mike Hill, and if he was armed. There's been no word about that. I've been trying to look at the local news and to glean more about this man, because it just struck me when they said and a custodian, and I thought, I wonder if, and sure enough, it was a black man. But I wonder if he was carrying a weapon. And
well, most schools have a no firearms policy, so they usually have those stickers on the door. I don't know about a Presbyterian private school, but
right.
I mean that is something that definitely needs to be considered. I mean, I think when teachers take some of their instruction as sabbaticals, they should go ahead and take the conceal and carry class, have a stored locked position for the weapon, and be responsible in that way, because unfortunately the odds of you don't know. It's such a random situation, but I mean, I can see not having the weapons in the classroom because it's more prone to have an accident versus having an actual school shooter. But you just don't know when it's going to happen, and somebody in that building needs to be able to respond to that. And I know having armed police officers.
And I think they thought having the doors locked, that was going to save them. And in effect,
clearly not.
That wasn't the answer, unfortunately. Yeah. And then they have all of these suggestions. We have run out of time for this segment, and I know we could go on for another and double this, but I do want to ask people to take a look at some of the other stories that we have in the What You Need to Know newsletter, and very interesting story about an abortion clinic that's been set up within 5 miles of the state line dividing Maryland and West Virginia, and how it is an abortion desert out there. And this is now providing an opportunity for women to come over from West Virginia to Maryland to have the procedure done. But it's going to be interesting to see how the legislature responds to this, because once again,
they're going to be putting police at the border right when they come across
to arrest.
They're waiting for them.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, we can't have fireworks in Illinois, and they didn't catch them all. There's plenty of fireworks.
I was doing the same thing, Damon, right there, right across the
border. Yeah.
But fireworks, Damon, they don't care about the saving of lives, as they say. Then guns and
save the children, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
So let's move on to what is trending, and to our what's really going on question, our question of the day. Recently, in looking through the days of the month or the important days of the year, we had Make Up Your Own Holiday Day. So just for fun, let's talk about what or whom would you celebrate? Who's your favorite person? Would you celebrate your favorite pet? Would you celebrate your favorite beverage, adult or otherwise? Your favorite food or restaurant? And what would your Make Up Your Own Holiday Day look like?
Funny thing about this is,
and
whatever we
David,
come up with is probably actually a day already.
No, yeah, but I'm laughing because my good friend comedian B. Cole had the ultimate joke for me and for that joke, and it was called Head Day. He said, he said from right, call back. Get your scrunchies, ladies.
Okay.
And fellas, I mean, it could be mutual, but that joke is so hilarious. He said the day we could all come together. It's a hilarious bit. So I just wanted to give B. Cole credit for the ultimate holiday.
We appreciate that.
Yeah. So now, like he said, like most of the things that we truly enjoy, there's at least a day for a donut day or ice cream day, So the only thing left was pretty much what B. Cole had in mind.
Right. Absolutely.
But I wanted to be a national holiday, federalized, so that people have to observe it for real, and you get the day off, because you don't want it after work. You know what I mean? You want
penalized, right?
Yeah,
right.
penal.
Anniversary and
come on,
holiday.
That's right.
3 times a year.
But just that 3 times. It's 1, 2, 3 times a year. That's all. on. Come on.
Man, what would your holiday be, bro?
Nap day.
I love it.
Nap day. Just a day where you can just take a nap and don't have
I
to
thought
worry
that was
about.
Father's Day.
Man, no, it's not. Never, because usually on Father's Day you working the grill or something. So a nap day. Like, boy, if you could just have a nap and just not have to work, not have to worry about work.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, because of remote work doesn't ever end anymore.
It doesn't stop.
There used to be a day where a time where you can
leave
come
the
home
office behind
and just relax, but you have constant contact with work. I know I do, and there's no stop to it. So give me a nap day so I can just.
I like that. I like National Nap Day.
Nap.
And so let's call that out to everyone. What would this day be? What would you celebrate? Like right now, I could really use this Coke. I really needed this. So happy National Coca-Cola Day, everybody. Cheers.
I haven't had one yet. I don't. Well, I guess I'm going with Bicos.
Right. No, go ahead. I rock with it. I'm not mad.
I'm not mad at you. Sonia Maples on YouTube says my holiday would be Laugh Until You Cry Day. That's every Tuesday here with Damon and Ned. So,
and every Friday and Saturday at Riddles.
Come on now. Come on with it. Absolutely. Laugh Until You Cry Day. I love that, Sonia Maples. Yeah. So that would be a good one too. Laugh until you cry. Yeah, because that's really good. Happy National Laughter Day. Michelle Lynn Sumrall on Facebook said it should be a floating holiday that you can take as needed. Call it IDGAD Day. I don't give a damn day.
That's a good one. I don't. Yeah, you can keep it in your pocket like a voucher.
Right.
And bam!
A big joker.
Keep it like the big joker. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny because there's a couple of states now that are putting that into law that you're allowed to take off from work with no.
You don't have to give. You don't have
no
to give them
excuses
any.
or nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come in today.
It's a mental health day.
Yeah, it's called being Gen Z. He's like, no, I'm not coming into work. No.
Right.
Oh, it's Gen Z Day. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Or I quit. Or I just don't show up.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Dad's Go Clothing on YouTube says Self-Care Day. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't give a damn day, but I get it. I get Self-Care Day.
They're kind of mutual.
Yeah. Mental health, all of that. As well as Be Cold. Yeah.
All work together.
Oh, we could do a National Massage Day. How about that?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about a gift certificate to massage in VIP.
No, I mean a regular stress relieving massage.
Yeah.
The Russell Simmons massage.
Yeah, I don't know about a Russell massage, but happy endings not included.
Okay, not with your yoga instructor. No, thank
you. That weirdo.
Yolanda, can you give us Tyrone's? Thank you. Not hearing anything about Trump Day, and you won't hear that here. Yeah. Not unless it's the day that he goes. Watch your head, and
in that day,
and once again, that has nothing to do with Damon's favorite day.
Right. Not at all. Watch your head. Hey, he's on the road, people.
Jackie Welsh on YouTube. Damon, would that be a paid holiday?
See that, Damon? See what they got to do?
Right.
We can't even enjoy our day.
By all means, you should get subsidized. Yeah. It comes with pay and 2 cocktails and any other thing of your choice.
And then it would come with Ned's favorite day. Take a nap.
Take a nap.
Right after. Same day.
Double up, baby.
Matter of fact, all 3 days, because after that, I don't give a damn either.
At all. About nothing.
That's a trifecta.
Okay.
Holiday weekend. I love it.
Okay. A 3-day holiday for show. Absolutely. Yolanda Bowens on Facebook. National Pay It Forward Day. That too is also a form of Damon's holiday. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely. Right.
I ain't trying to pay mine forward.
Selfish.
I'm not saying that you. Well, in a sense, you would if you return in kind.
Okay.
Yes.
National Reciprocal Day. That's what that is.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's my big A word for the day as well.
I like it. I like it. I love a little reciprocity.
Hey, see, she had to put a new syllable in there. I'm gonna start calling you syllable.
I've been called that before. Trust and believe. Yeah.
Sybil Wilkes.
Sybil just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
I like Ronita's. I like Ronita's.
What does Ronita Bland say?
Yeah.
No count calories day. You can have whatever you like.
Hey, look.
In my TI voice. Like. Yeah.
Hey,
I like
that sounded like a Vietnamese massage voice. You can have whatever you like.
That's right. Oh, what you do for a living? Yeah.
Oh, man.
Shirley Ann Tony Davis, National Mary Jane Day. Well, you know what? Interesting you should say that, because another one of the days that I was going to get to is today is National Weed Day. But it has nothing to do with 420 or smoking weed. It's actual weeds, and encouraging people to find out what else you can do with the weeds in your yard, such as dandelions and things like that. Asking you what your favorite weed day is. But on 420, we will celebrate your day there. That would be Weed Day.
A month away.
I think J. Anthony Brown celebrates that more than he does his own birthday. So
that's funny. I've never experienced that with Jay, but next time I see him.
Okay. This is Make Up Your Own Holiday Day, and asking people whom or what would you celebrate. It can be anything that you can see people are getting into the spirit of naming their own holiday. Is it a pet? Is it will we have National Lawler or National Ramsey Day for the whites, or would we have Adult Beverage Day, a little vino, perhaps a white Zen for someone, maybe a vodka tonic, I don't know. Your favorite food or restaurant. National Soup Day would be good for me right about.
How about a National Smack a Karen Day?
And Karens, don't take offense to this. You know what we mean.
Please
don't take offense to this.
Right.
Absolutely not. Don't take offense. Brenda Brooks Perry, National Leo Day. Hello. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm down with it. July, August.
Gwen Turner, I love this. And if we ever come to this day, I will give you all the credit. Now, No Racism Day. Where would that be? When will we ever see that again?
February 31st. In this country.
Yeah, right in time for the end of Black History Month.
Stephanie every day. What racism? There's no racism around there.
Right. On Facebook, Stephanie says National Say No Day.
That's clearly a mother. Probably a married mother of 3.
No.
Or a single mom. No. And don't ask me again.
Mother's Day.
Right.
No, you can't. And don't ask me again. I'm telling you. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Today's not your day. Okay, that's another day. Yeah, right.
I want a national, where do you want me to put it? Day.
I see a theme here with Damon's days.
I mean, all the other days exist already.
Right.
I love donuts. I love chocolate. I love ice cream. Popcorn. Yeah, that's out there.
Voting Day. There's a National Voting Day. Yeah.
It's out there. There's not a national, where do you want me to put it day?
Right.
That don't exist.
Took a loose day. Yolanda, give me that one. I wish you Renita Bland, a National I Wish You Would Day. Yes. That
also goes with the Smack of Karen.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So, what made me think of National I Wish You Would Day, and you and I are right on the same page. There is a photo that's gone around on social media of a congressman from Nashville, as a matter of fact. And it's he and his wife and 3 children standing around their Christmas tree, all holding his automatic rifle.
I saw that, yeah.
And so he said, the news person asked, well, what does that make you? How does that make you feel in light of, how does that make me feel that I can have my Second Amendment rights and I can share the rights that I have with my family and with people, my constituents? How do you think that makes me feel? I was like, dude, just read the room, read the city. Read
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I wish you would say that in front of these people who lost their lives and their families.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
The
Just crazy.
Second Amendment is just so funny to me how they're holding on so tight to the Second Amendment, where
it's our constitutional right.
Our constitutional right, and they don't care about none of the other constitutional rights.
None of
that Second Amendment and their freedom of speech. But that
Yeah.
Second Amendment, which is like, if you actually read the Second Amendment, like what we're defending, the Second Amendment for has nothing to do with the actual Second Amendment.
Right.
Second Amendment had nothing to do with.
Yeah, muskets were not the same.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's when you couldn't shoot a dozen people in 1 minute. You had to musket up.
It is not the same. So like, stop and trying to defend yourself against like tyranny or a government. I'm like, no.
So that's who I would say I wish you would date to that congressman, a United States congressman. Well,
United States
people, if we don't get our acts together and start running for office and putting people out of office who continue to take the money of the lobbyists and to put guns in the hands of people who are not capable of using them in the correct way, then we deserve what we're getting. That's all I have to say on that. All right, let's move to trending. Damon, tell us about your upcoming weekend. What do you have going on?
Trey Williamson, who does amazing impressions like Cat Williams and John Witherspoon. He does a really good Michael Collier, nobody's seen, but he does a bunch of other things. He sings, he dances. So he'll be at Riddles, and I will be home. I was supposed to be in Raleigh. That didn't happen, so I'll be home. So they get double trouble this weekend at Riddles, and I want to thank everybody that came out to Chuckles in Memphis. Had a great time. Happy birthday once again to Jada's mom, and Jada was there, and that was cool. So that's what's happening. Afterwards, I'll be in Dayton, Ohio at the Funny Bone the following week, and the week after that is the Baltimore Comedy Factory. So all that's available, as you see right here, on DamonWilliamsComedy.com. Thank you.
That is awesome. And Med, you're back from your hosting duties of the George Foreman movie. How did everything end up?
Everything ended up really good. Everyone really enjoyed the movie. Again, it comes out April 28th. Big George Foreman, and yes, it's going to do really well. I think it should do well if they get the word out that there is a movie about George Foreman. Again, like, the movie is really about everything that he had to deal with. So it's a good movie.
It's in theaters. It's going to theaters, or is it be streaming?
It's actually going to be in theaters.
Good.
April 28th. So, like I said, I hope it does well. I've seen it.
Have you guys been back in the movie theaters lately since the reopening?
I have. Have you, Damon?
Yeah, we saw Black Panther. We saw Black Adam. My wife likes everything black. I said she watches everything black. So I said, if there's nothing black on TV, she'll turn off the TV and look at the screen. Got to be some blackness on it for her to view it. I'm telling you.
I'm not messing with it unless it's black.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm not mad at that. Any astronomers in the room? You guys, the stars and the planets and
this is the five planet night or something like that.
Yeah,
not really. But go ahead. What we got?
So I'm nearsighted. I can't even see inside the house. I'll be squinting my tail off
out there. I sent this to Tom because he is a bit of a planet file. Tonight, a rare cosmic event is set to light up the night sky. 5 planets: Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, Uranus, and Mars, perfectly aligning at the same time. Uranus, our astrologist, Miss Astrology, says Uranus.
And
I make her angry every time I say Uranus. I know.
Because that just takes the joke away when you say Uranus.
I know.
Yeah. That sounds like somebody. That sounds like somebody that's expert at relieving themselves. You're a Uranus. That's a yellow planet.
In the case of our pronunciation, it's a very dark planet. Perfectly aligning at the same time, along with the moon and a beautiful star cluster known as Messier 35. This will be the first planetary alignment we've seen since June of 2022, where Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn were seen together in a unique event. The parade of planets, easier to spot to the naked eye, Damon. Best way to see this is to use binoculars and look west approximately 20 minutes after sunset, while Venus, the third brightest object in the sky after the sun and the moon, will be quite easy to see with the naked eye. Some of the other planets, such as Uranus and Mercury, may be more difficult to spot, particularly the closer you are to the city lights. So
gotcha.
I'm going to go out there and check it out 20 minutes after sunset. So if you are of a mind, come on out there. Let's do it. Let's do it. This is really big news for Magic Johnson. He and his Billionaire Boys Club, they have made their official bid to buy the Washington football team.
How much?
$6 billion.
Wow.
A $6 billion bid to buy a failing football team. Do you know what we could have done with that in Chicago for the Bears?
I would, man. I've been wanting the what's her name, McCaskey. I've been waiting for McCaskey to go ahead and give that team up for a minute or keel over. And I just boy, it's funny seeing them try to move the team out of Chicago and up to Arlington Heights. Yeah. It's very funny to look like they're trying to modernize everything, but yet the way that they run the team is just so
it's just
old
like mom and pop operation.
It is terrible,
man. It's like being Prince Charles. waiting on
somebody to.
Oh, yeah. McCaskey, she hanging in there, boy.
Virginia ain't going nowhere.
Is she 100?
Yeah, I believe she is.
She's still she's her name is still on top of the of the group. So
yeah, she's still the queen.
It's like that show Succession, which is amazing. Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah. ESPN has reported that the Lakers Hall of Famer, alongside the 76ers owner Josh Harris and billionaire Mitchell Rales, officially submitted the $6 billion bid to buy the franchise today. It's substantial. Snyder, who revealed in 2002 he was exploring selling the Commanders, reportedly seeking $6 billion for his club, which would mean a sale to the Johnson Harris Group is now imminent. And that's not good news for the Jeff Bezos and Jay-Z group, as they had a big interest, but apparently they didn't come up with the $6 billion, according to some reports. And this could break the previous record sale of the NFL franchise set last year, when the billionaire Rob Walton of the Walmart family fame purchased the Denver Broncos for $4.65 billion.
They beat out Magic and his group last year as well. The Jeff Bezos was never going to happen because Snyder was never going to sell to him because Bezos owns Washington Post, which killing Snyder for years.
They started the whole thing in the investigation.
Snyder,
right?
Bezos was never going to be the owner of the Washington Commanders.
No, not going to happen.
And a sort of related note, I just saw a meme that Michael Jordan bought the Charlotte Hornets for $175 million, and now that franchise is worth $1.75 billion.
Wow.
Talk about a parlay. So sports ownership.
He's about to sell his piece too, his majority stake in the team.
I mean, it's time for us to get into that those owners boxes, because that's the elite boys club of money.
That is
absolutely. Because think about it, think about for instance, the owner of the Phoenix Suns, Sarver, he had to sell his team. He didn't want to, but because of everything, the racist, the way he was handling the team, they got him up out of there. The thing is, they talk about, well, how is it such a bad thing forcing these owners to sell when they're making such a big profit? Because he bought the team for little to nothing compared to what he's getting the money for now. It's because these guys want to be an owner of a team. They don't care about nothing. That club, being part of that club, means more to them than the billions of dollars. It really does. It's crazy.
Yeah. Plus, it basically, the penalty of it is, your descendants lose the franchise. Like as we say, the McCaskies have had that family business since day one.
Right.
And if you do some stupid mess and say some stupid things, now you've really tarnished your legacy and your estate for your descendants. So that's a problem as well. So, that's what you get, though. Don't cry for them, though. He'll be
No, I'm not
okay.
crying for nobody that's making
Not you.
like 6 million
Yeah.
for losing a team.
Okay,
Boy.
it's man, I just would love to be a part of that game. It's always been a dream of mine. Here we have you guys have a big election, not you guys, but the city of Chicago has a big runoff election for mayor next week, and a new poll shows a dead heat between the two men who are in the runoff. And it is neck and neck. Poll of 1,500 registered Chicago voters conducted by the Research for Northwestern Center for Study of Diversity and Democracy, and a coalition of Black and Hispanic nonprofits are showing that the former public school CEO Paul Vallis and Cook County Commissioner Brandon Johnson, each earning 44% of the overall vote. They found that 12% of the voters are still undecided. I don't see that. I think they just said none of your business, as my daddy used to say. Of those polled, 55% of Black voters, 35% of Latino voters favored Johnson, 28% of Black voters, and 46% of Latino favored Vallis, who many people say ruined the Chicago public school system, amongst other things, in that city. And it's interesting to see who is coming, Damon, in support of the various men
Yes.
and endorsements.
Yeah, Damon, talk about that, man.
Yeah, my son is very in tune to this scenario, and he and I did a live and broke down some of the reasoning for his choice of Brandon Johnson, and being Brandon is from their movement, from social organizing and things of that nature, and he said he's a good person, he's a good man, and he has some very heated things to say about some of the men who have come forth to support, like Jesse White and Bobby Rush, and Gene Sawyer, his son, and that they are fully aware of the detriment and the harm that Vallis would do to us and our community if he's elected. But money talks and such. So it's a lot of people. Bobby Rush. Who else? It was another. Oh, Willie Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah. I hope he texted out his endorsement. We don't need him talking. And I was an advocate for Willie, but now he just sold us out.
Will you just leave us with a little Willie, if you pardon the expression? If you give us
if you ask me, I would say Paul Vallis is the answer. It'd be less crime. It'd be less shooting. Paul Vallis is my choice.
Oh,
Wilson,
come on.
come get some groceries. Just text me. If anybody needs some gas or some groceries, just text me.
Okay, man.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Yes, I'm no longer in the race, so you can just text me. That's T-E. How do you say that one? X. Another T. Text me.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Thank you. Perhaps you want to get into the race in Houston. The great Sheila Jackson Lee is leaving Congress. She's going to be running for mayor of Houston. She's joining a very crowded field in order to lead Texas's largest city after serving decades in Congress, and has really been a real forerunner in a lot of the more controversial issues, such as repatriation or getting money back for Black folks and things like that. She wants
what state is she in?
Texas.
That's more than one Tex. So send me 2 Texas or more, and I will get you. I'm sorry. Willie out.
Willie out.
Willie out. Is Willie out? Okay, let's
Willie
cover
out.
him up. Okay, let's cover him up. Houston's elections are nonpartisan. 7 out of the 11 candidates are Democrat, and Congresswoman Lee is almost assured to be at the top of the pack, given her name recognition. She said to let the fire start now. She said at church on Sunday. and she would make history, making her the first Black woman to be mayor of Houston, which is the 4th largest city in the country. I'm a big Sheila Jackson Lee fan, and I am wishing only the best for her. And like others before her, especially this year, they're leaving Congress and going on to bigger and better things. Karen Bass is doing her and living up to her promises in Los Angeles, and we have others that are leaving Congress and going to run for the U.S. Senate in California. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Last thing I'm gonna leave you guys with: the Mississippi anchor has been fired after saying Snoop Dogg's catchphrase live on TV. Did y'all see this for shizzle?
Yeah.
They call her a local journalist and meteorologist. Barbie Bassett was
What's her
removed
name?
from Barbie Bassett.
Her name is Barbie.
Her name is
great.
Barbie. Yes.
Okay.
She was removed from the news station's website after she said, "For shizzle my nizzle" during a live television newscast. This, of course, is Snoop Dogg's popular saying back 20-something years ago. And E40, of course, is credited for being the one to coin the phrase "izzle." Not the first time that Barbie has gotten in trouble with the Black folks and being a little too familiar.
Right there.
They said in October of last year, she was reprimanded for referencing a co-worker's grandmother as her grandmammy.
Yeah.
See, if I heard that first, then I'd have been all for it. I didn't hear that part about her.
Yeah.
Because the for shizzle my nizzle rolled off pretty. It rolled right off the tongue. It was like she might be down with the culture. You know, somebody to hit that for shizzle. But the mammy, the grandmammy,
her reputation was there at the station because you could just see people just.
Dude was like, wow.
Yeah. That was it. Remember the note? Yeah, that was it, girl. You probably gone. Because when they came out in that first, I'm like, nah, they're not firing her for that. They're firing. That was the
cherry.
That was the very top.
Yeah.
The straw that broke the camel's back. That was. They were waiting on her to do something that they could fire her for. And
for that shizzle. Yep.
That shizzle. That shizzle did it.
Yeah. And let us move to entertainment. Got a question for you. Is your girlfriend Gayle King leaving CBS, Damon?
From what I gathered, she would be able to do both initially. Mm-hmm. And I think CNN was very strategic in the two people they put together. There would not be a Amy Amy and TJ issue with Charles Barkley and Gayle King.
That's an interesting pairing, isn't it? Because I think Oprah would say, no, absolutely not, Gayle. No, you can't.
All I'm looking forward to hearing is Gayle saying, Charles. Like she did to Robert. Charles.
Robert.
Charles.
I think it's a great move by her because when I first read that she was thinking about, I didn't know that Charles Barkley was part of it, but which makes sense for CNN because their ratings have just plummeted. Mm-hmm. Charles Barkley, of course, being part of the Turner family, they put him everywhere to raise the numbers, and so for them to put him on, they put him on the hockey. I was like, he loves hockey, so he does the hockey, he does the golf for them. They put him everywhere to raise the ratings. So to put him on CNN with Gayle King makes complete sense. And when I saw the way that they wrote about it, I'm like, she's gonna be able to do both CBS and CNN.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know the story, Yolanda, CNN has apparently gone and she has a relationship with the man who's taken over CNN, Chris Licht. Used to run things over at CBS, including The Late Show. He is now running all of CNN. He's the bane of the existence of Don Lemon, as well as other people over there. But there is talk now of a primetime show hosted by Gayle King, who does CBS Mornings, as well as Sir Charles Barkley, who is Mr. Basketball on the Turner stations. You see him, of course, inside the NBA, all of that kind of stuff. And as Med said, and a number of other sports that he claims to be very interested in. So it said that CNN is close to closing in on a deal that would bring Gayle not from her morning job, but in order to enable her to do both, perhaps, to host the show in prime time. And she has served as a co-host of CBS Mornings for more than a decade, and is reportedly in talks with CNN about a weekly show that would debut this fall. So if it's a weekly show as opposed to a nightly show, that's going to make a big difference.
Oh,
too,
huge
exactly.
difference.
Yeah.
And
Charles
this will be the
Barkley's
first
not
time.
about to do no nightly show. I promise you that.
No, he can't. And this will be the first time he's been paired with a black woman in 40 years. Let's go with that.
Hello. I don't think he'll know how to act, and
He ain't gonna know what to do.
and it'll be a
You
lot
know,
of
he said
Charles.
he said some bogus things back in the day in reference to black women, like something about they smelled funny. Something. It was, and I know my ex, she hates Charles Barkley to this day for that statement. Because like that fool said that on TV, his mother, his grandmother, you know.
Right.
So Charles is an interesting character.
Yeah,
to say the least.
He's trying to atone for a lot of this and lose some weight, apparently.
Yeah.
So they say that's why, you know, he's lost all this weight, because he's getting ready for his close-up. Either that or to duke it out with Stephen A. Smith. I'm not sure which would come first, but
or Michael Jordan, one of the two,
or MJ. Yeah. So her duties at CBS are not expected to change, and as I said, it's going to be a weekly show. Which, if it's a Friday night show, that would be great.
Yeah.
You know, she could do all of her morning stuff, and then Friday head on into the weekend with that show. Although it's going to be interesting to see how this all works out. And now, I don't know about you, but it seems like they're just kind of throwing stuff against the wall to see what sticks.
It's they're in trouble. CNN is in trouble. Like when I saw them take Don Lemon out of nights and put him in to do a morning show, I'm like, what are y'all doing?
If they were smart, they would just watch all of these people auditioning for the Daily Show and create a show similar to that and bring it to CNN.
Because
so if I had been prepared for this,
HBO.
Yeah, I would. A matter of fact, it makes me think I need to try to write a treatment for them, because that's what that show, that network needs.
Come on,
they do. Yeah,
entertainment news.
I remember when Roland was with CNN, he tried to bring a whole different style and flavor. I don't think they were ready for it then, because Roland had his playlist. You know, he'd come in dancing, and it was like a club. And then
it was the ascot. Yeah, it was the ascot.
But I think, Damon, I think that is a really good angle to take to look at.
I think they should revisit something they did before, which was D.L. Hughley. He had a show on CNN, but he kept it. It was more, you know, entertainment. But now he has such a powerful stance and platform in social issues that I think it would fare better now. And America's more liberal in the sense of having a black talk show host, because there are no black men. So I hope Charles spurs at least the opportunity of them looking at black males as talk show hosts.
Right. And hopefully if they did bring DL on, he wouldn't have any Karens to deal with, because that would be.
Yeah.
Can't have that happen to my boy.
You seen him on Fox? He don't hold back.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Put somebody blonde in front of me. I dare you.
That's why I love DL. That's why I love him.
Putting a red flag in front of a bull. Put somebody blonde in front of DL.
That's funny. That's funny. We're going to close out with today's jewel. Change begins in your mindset, and your actions will follow. You hear that, Charles? Change begins in your mindset, and your actions will follow.
Charles.
Another great show, fun and informative as always, and a great time to laugh at you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You made my evening.
Thank you,
on CNN. Let's go.
Immediately. Yes. 5 nights a week.
Not without you two.
Come on.
Are we coming?
Definitely coming.
Okay.
Cut the check.